everybody, I'm Zach. I'm an idiot. I got a this, and I am a Shakespearean actor. No, you're not. What? You ain't gonna live long, don't they? Hello? Help me! This is why I don't work with bones. Hey everybody, I'm back! Welcome back everybody, my name is Zachary Daly. I am a professional idiot and the best professional idiot in the world! How you guys doing? I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to talk about two of my favorite shows / movies ever. Number one, Wonder Woman, the 2017 film starring Gadot in the epic quest of kicking Nazi ass and fulfilling the quest of the Amazons. And number two, Supergirl, the story of the Kryptonian niece of Superman who reveals herself to the world and to take on her own amazing adventure of self-empowerment and just chilling around kick-assiness. Kick-assness, is that a word? I'm not sure. I don't know. Hey, director, is that a word? It's not? Wait, well, it is now. So today we're going to be going over Wonder Woman and Supergirl, both of which are amazing productions. I highly recommend you both watch them, and if you haven't seen either one by now, what are you doing? Are you a lazy YouTuber who just sits up in front of the camera and oh, fourth low alarm, no! What I want to start off first is saying that both of these characters are just incredible, both in the fact that they can be both super and they can still be human. Well, technically human, because Wonder Woman is half human, half god, and Supergirl is from Krypton and not human at all. But a point aside, they are still relatable on a personal level, like the average Joe or the average Jane level. Both of these women can be incredibly super and incredibly powerful, but they're still relatable. I mean, they're not like these super messiah figures that you can't relate to in any dimension. You can still relate to these people. You can still relate to these incredible role models. Like I said before, I love Supergirl and Wonder Woman because they're relatable people, not just because, they can live normal lives and just happen to be superheroines at the same time, but the fact that they also adapt and change like regular people. Let's say you have this character who is already at the top of the game. They're already super powerful, they have all the powers in the world, they have a great circle of friends, great love life, blah 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 blah. They're the perfect character. This character we refer to as pointless. If a character is already at the peak of their lives, or the peak of their existence, and they have everything already squared away, the character is pointless because they can't change anymore. There's no emotional journey for them to go through. Wonder Woman and Supergirl are very realistic in the fact that they have to change. Let's just start off with Wonder Woman. She's on the Amazon, even though she may be a very warrior, she really doesn't know about how the whole world really works because the island of 7th Skira is so secluded. And when she goes out into man's world, which is not a very good depiction of men, I am almost embarrassed to look at that section. As she's going through her adventures, she has to constantly keep adapting and changing. And in the movie, especially my favorite scene in the whole movie, and probably like the one scene which pretty much owned the entire DC cinematic universe, is the trench scene where she comes out in the full armor for the first time, where Chris Pine is telling her that she can't go out there because hundreds of these troops have been there for months and months and months and have not gained a single inch. And she doesn't go out into the field and start kicking ass and taking names because she's on the peak of her character. Again, if the character is at their peak at the highest messiah level possible, there's nowhere else for the character to go. There has to be somewhere for the character to go up. The old saying goes, there's nowhere to go but up, but if the character is already at the top, there's nowhere else to go except down. While you can make a character collapse and rebuild himself, you can do that, and you can do that as a storyteller, but it's extremely difficult to do. Films like Black Panther and a couple of others, which I'll list down below, can do that with having a character at the top and then come crashing down and then going all the way back up again, but it's extremely difficult. It's a lot easier to do, start a character very low and have them work their way up. Going back to the trench scene in Wonder Woman, what was really amazing about that scene is because she realized, when you look in her face, she is absolutely terrified. She realizes that hundreds of these soldiers and these people have died and nothing's changed. These soldiers do not have the ability to go into that village and rescue all those people. She realizes that these people are helpless. Then she has that epiphany moment. She realizes that, and right before I go any further, I need to say that this is not the scene like, from Lord of the Rings where everyone goes,
I am no man.
It's not the thing where like it's no man could cross it, but a woman could cross it, you know, ripping off all the rings. It's not that. She does not go out there because she's a woman and because she's not a man she can cross it. That's not the message of that scene at all. She realizes at that moment that not as a woman, but simply as a warrior, and with greater skills than the other soldiers, she realizes she could do something. That's her click moment, as I call it. The moment where the character just drastically changes. It's that change of character is what makes characters interesting. The character has to change. And the moment in the trench scene where she's about to go up in the full armor and just own the entire DC cinematic universe and put it to the bank, which is awesome, by the way. You go, Gal Gadot. And the biggest part about that entire scene is that she went from super scared for one moment and realizing that she has to be a hero because it's essential at that moment that she go out and be heroic. And even the entire scene, and when she's being pinned down by the machine guns and fighting through the village, you also see she's terrified of all the war, all the violence, which she never saw in Themyscira, and none of our other people have seen it either. This was the first Amazon that really saw the full ugliness of world wars, because World War I was the first time where war took a very ugly turn, where all the rules of conduct were abandoned, and it was thought to be the war to end all wars, which history proved out. No, it was not. It's the first Amazon to see this really ugly side of the war, and she's terrified, but she still musters up the courage to go and liberate that village, save all the people, kick ass left and right, and at that point, she starts becoming the Wonder Woman we all love to love. And it's at that point, forcing herself to get out there and just do it. It's at that moment where she realizes that she needs to go out there and do something right now. That's the changing point. And that's why one of the reasons why I love Wonder Woman with Supergirl. These characters change. And they have to, and just like everybody else, where everybody has to climb uphill in order to become the person they want to be, Supergirl and Wonder Woman both have to do the same kind of thing. They both have to fight this uphill struggle to become the heroes that we recognize and we love. It's that moment in the trenches with Wonder Woman, for instance, that transforms her into this character that we're just enamored with. And of course, by the end of the movie, she's even more of that character. But the concept is the same. The character changes. She adapts. And not only adapts, she realistically adapts. She realistically changes. On the level that, not where she's at a messiah figure, because by the end of the movie, she's still not a messiah figure. She is certainly very, very heroic, but she's not at that messiah figure. She's not at that point of the messiah figure where it becomes impossible to relate to. She's still a relatable character. She's a very strong character. She's a very powerful woman, a very brave woman, both on screen and off screen. Love you, right away, Gal Gadot. But she is still a person you can relate to. And that's one of the role models for women. It's really important for role models to not be at a whole nother stage of existence. You still need to be relatable. You still need to be able to connect with the average people. That's something that Wonder Woman has done incredibly. Supergirl's progress is a little bit more incremental, going step by step by step by step, but the same thing does change. In episode 1, she's very secluded, can't really use her powers, or she'll bust a secret. But then in the pilot episode where she has to save the plane from crashing down, which also is holding her sister, she has that boom, that click moment, that changing moment. Wonder Woman's click moment was when she was coming out of the trenches. Supergirl's click moment was when she had to go save that plane from crashing. In that moment, she realizes that she could be something greater. And of course, over the episodes and the seasons, she starts changing incrementally a bit at a time, but she's still constantly adapting, and throughout the whole time, I can't explain the whole show in detail because that would be way too long for a single YouTube video. And also, it would be way too many spoilers! Concept is still the same. Supergirl constantly keeps changing and adapting while still being relatable to the audience. And that's something that can be really difficult to make a character that is super, super strong, but at a super high elevated level of strength and power, but still being down here enough where you can relate to your audience. The Wonder Woman and Supergirl are these great role models for inspiring young women to keep moving on and keep changing and just basically just keep being awesome. But there has been some blowbacks against Wonder Woman and Supergirl. And some of them have gotten a lot more traction than they should do. So, what are these blowbacks? Wonder Woman's biggest blowback was from the knucklehead named James Cameron, who said that Wonder Woman wasn't really a revolutionizing movie, and he called it a step backward because of a quote-unquote over-sexualized appeal. which was not true at all. I mean, come on, you're just looking at, I got those short skirt. I want to be, like, for me, I wouldn't be paying attention to the skirt. I'll be paying more attention to the sword that's coming toward my head. So James Cameron has accused Wonder Woman of being over-sexualized and being a step backward, which I really don't agree at all. And if you think that I'm just trying to mansplain everything here, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something. I'll show you something right now. Where is it? This is one of my favorite books ever. And it is not a book about how to be manly. It's not about how to make women feel inferior. No. My favorite book ever is a book of concept art from the Wonder Woman movie. It's not anything about manliness. No. One of the favorite books I have on the shelf right there is the concept art of Wonder Woman. Your argument is invalid. And I absolutely love the rebuttal that Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, gave to James Cameron, and it is as such. James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as, though he is a great filmmaker, he is not a woman. Strong women are great. His praise of my film Monster and our portrayal of a strong yet damaged woman was so appreciated. But if women always have to be hard, tough, and troubled to be strong, and we aren't free to be multidimensional or to celebrate an icon of woman everywhere because she is attractive and loving, then we haven't come very far, have we? I believe women can and should be everything, just like male lead characters should be. There is no right and wrong kind of powerful woman, and the massive female audience who made the film a hit it is can surely choose and judge their own icons of progress. Mic drop! As a story writer and as an author, I want characters to be multidimensional. And it was another great example of multidimensional characters was Okoye and Shuri. If I didn't, was it Okoye? Okoye? I'm not sure how the pronunciation is. If I mess it up, I am so sorry. I meant no offense. These strong women in Black Panther, they weren't strong because they were damaged or because they were abused somehow. No, they were strong because they were strong. And they were also multi-dimensional. They were strong, but they could also be caring and gentle and just really brave. They didn't have to be just strong because they were damaged. And that's what I love about Patty Jenkins' tweet, is that Wonder Woman doesn't have to be the super strong character because she's damaged. She can be strong, she can be graceful, she can be beautiful, she can be empowering, she can be brave, she can be sentimental all at the same time. And the multi-dimensionality is not something to be frowned upon. Multi-dimensionality is what separates a good character from a bad one. Being multi-dimensional and owning that is what makes the difference between a Patty Jenkins movie and a Michael Bay movie. And here's the thing, multi-dimensional characters are the most realistic, because people are not just like, you're not going to find one guy on the street who's only scared, and one guy who's always brave all the time, or one guy that's always super smart all the time. There's not going to be the one woman who is always sentimental all the time. That just doesn't work. Humans are not like that. Humans are very multidimensional by their very nature. And I don't understand why we're criticizing characters for being that, when that's what humans are. Humans are multidimensional by design. And you're telling, and people like James Cameron are telling us that you can't have a multi-dimensional character like that? Oh, screw off! Alright, James Cameron, but you are completely wrong. There's no reason why a strong character or a strong female character can't be multi-dimensional. And here's the thing, Mr. Cameron. If a character can't be multi-dimensional, that character may simply not be worth watching at all. That's a fact. Come on, you're a filmmaker. You should know that. Supergirl has also received some pretty bad criticism that I also don't think holds water. Article that I found on pinknews.co.uk, and basically at a Comic-Con panel, a bunch of the cast members, including Alyssa Benoist, Katie McGrath, who plays Lena Luthor, who's an amazing actor, by the way. I've heard, in fact, this is not the first place where I've seen Katie McGrath. She also played Morgana Le Fay on the show Merlin, which she was also fantastic in. Seriously, you got Alyssa Benoist, Katie McGrath. You just got some amazing actresses and actors on these shows. But basically, at this Comic-Con panel, all the main cast members of the show were just doing an impromptu scene, and at one point, they addressed this. The fans are kind of shipping Lena Luthor and Cara Danvers together, and the panel basically responded that they're just friends. Well, okay, maybe they have the separate love interest in the show, but the characters are just friends, okay. A whole bunch of people thought it was an attack on LGBT people. What? Wait, what?
Oh, hell no!
And I wasn't even sure how to react to that one. I mean, the fact that they're saying that they're quote-unquote, they're just friends automatically constitutes a very harsh negative attack on LGBT people? I mean, what planet are you from? Apart from that, nothing in that show, at least there is no evidence of it, that the production of the show is made with the purpose of a social, moral, or legal, or ethical harm to anyone, especially to LGBT people. There's just no evidence to support that. No evidence has come to light whatsoever that the show is purposely trying to harm or insult LGBT people. In fact, it's more of an empowering of LGBT people, because LGBT relationships are actually pretty common on that show. And come to think of it, LGBT relationships are coming up on a lot more shows, and there are a lot greater number of relationships, and there's a lot greater number of shows that are introducing LGBT relationships in one form or another. I'm starting to understand why these counter arguments against socially progressive moments in pop culture are coming up. I mean, moments like Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Hidden Figures, Black Panther, all these moments in pop culture that are serving as, you know, models of showing that everybody's important. I think they're coming up probably as a reaction to today's political age in the United States, which I'm sorry to say, today's political age seems only to be oppress anybody who's a minority, and basically you're oppressed if you're not a straight white Christian male, which is ridiculous. But it's moments like Black Panther and Wonder Woman and Supergirl and all these other great socially induced pop culture moments that are pushing back, and they're reminding the people that no, you will not be oppressed. You are free to be your own person, and especially for women. And this is incredibly important. And I really personally hate the oppression of women, because man and woman are two legs of a person. You can't cut off one of the legs and expect them to walk. All these moments like Wonder Woman and Supergirl, they serve as a really great way to get the pop culture motivated that when oppression comes, that you need to swat it aside. And if you really break down and analyze the stories on Wonder Woman and Supergirl, you realize that every single minute there's some message about pushing away oppression, whether it's in the form of aliens, whether it's in the form of Germans or Nazis, or if it's pushing away a corrupt government leader, or pushing somebody away who doesn't accept LGBT people. It's just all that oppression. Supergirl, Wonder Woman, Black Panther, it just pushed that oppression to just blast it right out of the way, and showing that the social change, the positive social change, is not going to be stopped, and that is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So in conclusion, I really love Wonder Woman and Supergirl for being great role models for women, being great role models for resistance against an oppressive culture, and it is a pretty great tool among the pop culture to keep social change moving, to keep maintaining that social change. So I just wanted to conclude by saying to the directors and the cast and all the crew and all people that are associated with the production of Wonder Woman and the Supergirl show, thank you for creating characters that are not only just brilliant role models for young women, but are also contributing to resisting a really oppressive culture these days, and keeping the ball of social change moving, keeping up the resistance, and also keeping up hope. Because a lot of people have been given hope by this, and that was a really great message in Wonder Woman. At the end of the Wonder Woman movie, how love is the only thing that is gonna heal the world, and that is vital. Keeping positive emotions up, keeping the hope going. Not letting them just get overwhelmed by what's out in the distance, because when an army comes out in the distance, it can be pretty scary. But you guys keep reminding us that it's really important to maintain our hope and just keep moving. And that is extremely important. It's becoming so much more important that every day that passes in modern day United States. And I wanted to say thank you for reminding everybody, and especially reminding me, that keeping hopeful, because things are going to get better, but you just have to keep going and trying. You have to keep resisting. You have to keep pushing forward. So thank you so much. And Melissa Benoist and Gal Gadot, you guys are just freaking awesome role models for so many people, and I want to personally say from the bottom of my heart, thank you both, because you are both incredible women. You're both incredibly strong women, and you are great motivators to keep social change moving. So thank you. So to my viewers, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Head on over to PT Devil. He's got more content coming. If you guys down in the comments below, I want you guys to tell me what you think of this character, what Wonder Woman and Supergirl means to you, what movies or TV shows that you want me to review next, other pop culture, social things that you want me to talk about in my videos, or if you just want to have a little chat, go ahead and shoot me up a message on YouTube or any of my other social media, which is all listed out down below. I want to thank you guys for coming over and supporting the channel. As always, in the case of loss of cabin pressure, please place the mask under your seats, over your head, to hide your terrifying expressions from the other passengers. Viewer discretion is advised and batteries are not included. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.